Good morning, folks. Welcome to another daily devotional. We come to our last reflection on Psalm 15 today, and it has to do with a very important subject. It's to do with the use of and our attitude towards our money. I think it was Martin Luther who once said that the last part of a man to be converted, or maybe to be sanctified, was his wallet. Here in verse 5, the psalmist says that the person who truly knows fellowship with God and who really enters into true worship of God is a person who does not put out his money at interest. The psalmist knew God's law, and in various passages in the law of God, in the books of Exodus and Deuteronomy, God forbids his people from lending money to those who are in need and in difficulty and charging interest on that loan. He did allow them to lend money to the poor, but he did not allow them to charge interest on such money. Charging interest was called usury. It meant that the lender was earning money, that he was profiting financially from the sufferings of others. Now, in the commercial world of that day, money lenders charged very high interest rates. And if someone defaulted on a payment, that meant that very soon they found themselves in an ever increasing spiral of debt, that the capital kept going up and up, and they couldn't hardly afford to pay it back again. Today, we know such practice as loan sharking, the sort of person who lends out money to the people who have got bad credit scores and can't get a loan of a bank or anywhere else, and they'll maybe lend them £100 at an extortionate interest rate of maybe 50% per month. And often, people who can't pay find themselves in an increasing amount of debt to that loan shark. The loan shark then enforces the payment of the loan through threats and violence. Now, of course, for a Christian, all of this violates the central biblical principle by which we as Christians are meant to live, of loving the Lord our God with all our heart and soul and mind and strength, and loving our neighbour as ourselves. If we truly love God and truly love our neighbour the way we should, we will not seek to profit in any way from our neighbour's hardship. In love, we will rather seek to help that person. If that means having to lend money to someone who is in financial hardship, we do it. But we do it at no interest. It is greed. It is covetousness. It is an inordinate desire for money that leads to usury. And then the psalmist speaks about bribes. He says he does not take a bribe against the innocent. And sadly, in those days, and of course it happens in our day too, those in positions of authority were sometimes people who were very greedy, very covetous people. And they, when they were called to make a judgment, would rule in favour of whoever came with the biggest bribe. The result of that was, very often, the innocent were found guilty and justice was perverted. And once again, what lies at the heart of this? The desire for, the love of money. The Bible warns us against this. You remember Paul's words to Timothy when he says that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. our attitude to money is important. We should be very thankful for what God has given us. We should use what He's given us lovingly and generously to those who are in difficulty. We should not use our money with a view to becoming more and more rich at the expense of others. We should use it to the glory of God and to the good of others and for the benefit of our own souls. I trust our studies in Psalm 15 have been beneficial, and we look forward to starting into Psalm 16. Have a great day, folks.